For the upgraded workstations, I started off with the ASRock Z77 Pro 3 motherboard. From what I've read, this is a pretty good motherboard. It's reliable, it's fast, DDR3, HDMI, works great for Photoshop and gaming, you can get up to 5 times faster. Now, the compatible CPU for the ASRock Z77 motherboard was the Intel Pentium G620. This one would work fine, especially when it would be teamed up with the ASRock Z77 Pro. For the RAM, I chose some 2GB DDR3 RAMs, which add up to 4. These are also compatible with the motherboard, and from what I've read, they are long-lasting and they work as they should. For the hard drive, the Western Digital WD Blue was a good choice, and it has 320 gigabytes of space. Since this is going to be for graphics and probably Photoshop, this would be plenty of space and is a good working hard drive. Now for the power supply, the PVIA ATX power supply 700 watt was compatible with the motherboard and the rest of the components, and the 700 watts is enough for the motherboard, and if it would be upgraded, it would be enough for graphics cards or different types of things. Now for the optical drive, I read that this LG rewritable DVD drive was great. It's also SATA. Also, from what I've read, is that the discs don't get scratched, burning is fine, and all of that. For the case, one of the only ones that would work with the power supply and the motherboard was this Roswell Armor EVO gaming case. This case supports ATX motherboards, so from many that I looked at, this was one of the only ones that would really fit. For the keyboard, I chose to pick this Microsoft desktop keyboard and mouse because I read that they're fairly decent, and at the same time they come together, and these two peripheral devices can always be upgraded easily. Now the total price for one of them would add up to about $417.92. Now since there's supposed to be 10, we get that $417.92 multiplied by 10, and that's around $4,179 with 20 cents. Of course, none of this is taxed, so if we were to subtract the $4,179.20 from the $5,000 budget, there will be $820.80 left over, which can be used to cover the taxes, maybe extra SATA cables and other things like that. I also checked the compatibility of every single device and component along with the motherboard to make sure they are compatible, which they are, so this whole computer build should work fine. And this concludes the workstation upgrade.